It's time for another episode of Pottawattamie County Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. All right, let me tell you a little bit about how my day is going, and you can see behind me that the sun is down. Yes, I record these ahead of time, but got everything done and then realized that, yeah, my mic wasn't turned on. See, once upon a time, I used to wear headphones. You remember that. I wore the headphones all the time. And enough people told me, hey, you should take them off, that I did. And now I didn't know that I wasn't actually recording anything. So now I'm back doing it again. Coming up today, we are going to bring you a clip from the Circle of Trades podcast because the U.S. Labor Secretary was in town recently, actually at Iowa Western, and our own Travis Waldstein, our friend from Waldstein Plumbing and Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning, was able to go out and not only hear her speak, but also talk to her. And we're going to talk with Travis about that. And also, we'll bring you a clip, too, about a little bit about tariffs and how that is affecting some folks in the area. So, Travis Waldstein will be joining us here shortly on Pottawattamie County Roots. The Jenny Edmondson Foundation believes health care goes beyond hospital walls. Through its Caring for Our Communities initiative, the foundation helps high-risk, low-income, and underserved individuals access resources that remove barriers to better health and long-term well-being. And each year, the foundation also brings the community together through Dance to the Beat, a signature event that raises critical funds for uninsured and underinsured heart patients. Those funds help provide treatment, medication, and rehabilitation, along with life-saving support. So learn more, get involved, and support the mission at jehfoundation.org. For a salon that feels like home, come to Heather's Hair Hut in Underwood, Iowa. With over 30 years of experience, Heather delivers expert haircuts for men, women, and children, as well as color, styling, and waxing services. This family-friendly salon opens 6 days a week with convenient evening hours, all in town with a beautiful country view. So whether you need a quick trim or a fresh new look, Heather's Hair Hut is the place to be. Heather's Hair Hut in Underwood, where experience meets comfort. And Pottawattamie County Roots brought to you by Dave Lawrence, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. All right, let's check in now with Travis Waldstein in this clip from the podcast Circle of Trades. Hey, I heard a rumor that you were out hobnobbing with Washington's elite. What the heck was going on?
Yeah, see, Daddy Trump called me. So
Yeah.
I was bringing on my labor secretary for a while.
So that was the deal. Is you went to where the labor secretary was at?
Yeah, Iowa Western. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of stuff in the news. I've talked about this a lot bit. The Secretary of Labor was at Council Bluffs yesterday, and I think they're doing Omaha today. But they went and did a tour of Council Bluffs and Trade Works at Council Bluffs Schools. They were on Iowa Western, and since we are helping them kick off their apprenticeship program with HVAC and plumbing here in about 2 weeks, we were invited with prospective apprentices to meet with her. I originally thought it was like the Iowa Secretary of Labor, so I didn't get that excited about it until I come pulling up and there's lots of police and there's lots of black trucks. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is a little bit more important. It says, no, it is the U.S. Secretary of Labor. So I'm like going, oh, so one of my guys, Mason, he had just came from a job. At least he had been rolling around in a ditch. So he's like, man, if I'd have known, I'd have dressed up a little bit. I said, you look like a tradesman. I said, you're doing good. But
that's the goal.
Oh yeah, but no, we got to meet with her. It was probably kind of cool. It wasn't very long. It was probably 10 minutes maybe that we talked with her. But yeah, it was actually nice. She's chatting at the facility. She's asking questions. She didn't want to talk to the press, shocker, which I was fine with. But no, it was actually pretty cool. Talk to her, so but it was good. Let's see what I'll say about. But yeah, she was out at the campus for like hour and a half yesterday. They didn't say she might have went to Mills County too. So, Dr. Dan Kinney was giving her a tour, and Lord knows if I'm there, I got something to say. So
I'm sure you did.
I told him, I said, we got to get these guys trained so I can retire. She looks at me and says, you're not going to retire. So yeah, he even got a fancy little picture of me with the group, with her and my guys yesterday, along with Natalie Harris at Iowa Western. So that was cool. They got a lot of stuff going with their program. They got some new Copeland trainers on the HVAC side. Um, um, so we got trainers, and then we got just they got a lot of stuff going on as far as with the program and invest in money. And of course, they're building a new diesel technology center so they can move the plumbing, the HVAC, and the soon to be electrical. I think, and I'm not sure if construction technology is going to move or not, but they're needing more room. There's no doubt about it.
Mhm.
Over there, but it's exciting to see. I mean, it's like, man, this is cool. This is like, I'm very happy to see what they're doing. And I say this, but if you're a contractor in Southwest Iowa and you want to, jump on board and have some say with the newer apprenticeship program and see what they're doing, definitely would encourage you to get involved. I don't want to be the only one, and I know their goal is to kind of get all the apprenticeship under one roof. Of course, there's a lot of people they've been doing it longer, but to me, the in FaceTime in the classroom, and for them to be able to and monitor but administer is very important. So they've been very accommodating to work with so far, and very, very excited to see that, hey, this is gonna happen. So
Well, I know that, and we've talked about it before, that after that bond issue passed, the next morning the heavy machinery was out there on the property. And I have not talked to Dr. Kenny since this went down. And I wanted to ask him, where was this stuff parked before?
down the
Because it had to have been close.
it was across the street, where they're building a new data center. It
Yeah.
was up on the hill. They were just waiting for the bond to move it over.
They had it covered up with some brush just so nobody could see it from the road.
Yeah, but if you've been by that area in Highway 6, they're going up towards Iowa Western on where the radio tower is on the south side there of that. That's where their diesel technology program and their truck driving program, which I really like their truck driving program. I would definitely encourage you, if you have not been through it, go through it. If you're driving heavy equipment or anything, you need to carry a CDL. So they've got that, and of course on the other side of the street is where they're building that new data center. So when AI takes over the world, they got people to they got to have these black boxes, so everybody can do their TikToks and whatever else. So you're a big TikToker, aren't you, Todd?
No, not me personally, but we have the ability to help people do that here. So
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. I can make a big enough fool myself without having to have a machine do it for me. Oh, maybe it's to make me look good. I don't know if you can do that either. So,
I do it every week, dude.
well, somebody's got to do it.
We talked before about some of the different things that you had planned for 2026. I mean, is it still all speed ahead? You're still shopping for a new ops manager and all of that still a go?
Yeah, realistically, we're compiling resumes, and then after I get back first week of February, we need to get serious on it. Um, so yes, with that within our office, and just when you talk about business, I talked about us looking at things. We've looked at some stuff now, which I'm pretty excited about. Now it's kind of like putting a plan into place to put some of these actions into motion and some things we need to do. We may not have the people in place yet. I think we have to take a look at the people I have in seats and what we can spread out. Need to have that conversation, but before it gets busy, because if you can set it into place now, it'll make it easier if you've been doing it for a while when you get busy. And the whole thing is, when you get busy, making sure there's the accountability is still there and we're doing it. I don't care if it's your business, the customers or financing or whatever else that it is. So no, I'm very optimistic for where we are. I think we got a much better plan. The workload that I've got already that I'm looking at for this year, I mean, it's like the calendar switch, or like Christmas came and it's like, man, the money tree must have shook or something. So all of a sudden, people want to do stuff. It's like that, or the bankers had to work between Christmas and New Year's and said, "Okay, let's get some stuff moving." I don't know what it is. I know interest rates are down. So, but yeah, it's yeah, gas prices are mean. They're talking about some parts of the country. They're still $4 or $5. They're not around here, which who knows what the forces are on that, but it all helps. I mean, what if prices stay low, if you can get interest rates down and fuel stays low, it does make it easier because you're not dumping all your money in the fuel tank, or it allows you to spend more money. It allows us to limit having to raise prices if stuff stays low, or stays affordable. That's kind of a huge thing. So
How long does it have to stay lower before you start to see a difference on equipment cost, material cost, like units that you're bringing in? Because lower fuel prices means it doesn't cost as much for them to ship it.
yeah,
So, but I would think that that's not going to be an instant change. I
I've
would think.
well, I will tell you, my October bill about made me had a heart attack. Between the HVAC levels on it, I was like, okay, we need to have a discussion about this. And then my November bill is better. Shoot, I saw my December fuel bill the other day, 2 days ago, and I'm like going, whoa, what happened here? I said, we're still outrunning service calls. We had a good month in December, but the numbers weren't. They were actually surprisingly better. You still got material cost stuff going off, but if the fuel's not as bad, it doesn't cost as much to ship. That's probably a big thing. So which is good. I mean, that's always good when you're talking about that. So unfortunately, it's something you deal with, and you just have to adjust. This is a time of year where I'm looking at material pricing, and labor price, and how we're going to adjust our labor price for a year. And, I mean, unfortunately, I'd love to say it's all going down, but the reality is materials not going down, and the cost of labor continues to,
Mhm.
pressure northward, if you want to have quality help. So it's, I mean, it's a balance. Now, I shouldn't complain, but my revenue, my personal revenue has not gone up, but that's by choice. That is 100% on me. So my wife will tell you, yeah, he don't pay himself squat on the front end. Now, there's obviously benefits on the back end for being a business owner, so I'm
Right.
not naive. I'm not broke, but there is definitely some differences when it comes to that. So but yeah, we're looking at that pretty hard. Our factories have been pretty good as far as that goes. So, um, yeah, we're gonna kind of see what ends up. We're just gonna play it by ear, but we'll adjust if accordingly. I'm hoping things stay steady. We need a period where we don't see all the tariffs and we don't have all the stuff. I think we'll feel better um, about where we're at, on a lot of things as far as the economy. If the economy's good, usually people, well, they'll complain about something, but they'll usually have, if the economy's bad, everybody feels better. As long as you don't turn on, the major news networks and watch the 12-year-olds all fight, life's pretty good.
I was actually just had a conversation not even an hour ago with somebody that had a tariff issue because I'm not sure if you've heard of them. There's a new product called Rodney, which has to do with keeping your rod organized when you're traveling. So you pull it apart, keeps it together, that type of thing. And they were made in the United States, but the cast for the molding was made in China. And they said, had they gotten the mold 5 days earlier or 5 days later, they wouldn't have had to pay this giant tariff, but they had to pay it.
Ouch.
And I don't know what it was. He didn't say how much it was, but because they had the only the way I'm assuming it, the only place they could get the cast done was in China, and they had it shipped over, and then the bulk manufacturing is done in the United States.
Yeah.
So, but still, these are you got a small little startup that's out there, talking to mom and pop fishing stores trying to get their product in there. That type of thing is huge.
Well, yeah, all of a sudden something was $5 as $25 just because of a tariff. And, the guy down the street, has the same thing but missed the tariff and he can sell for $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to move product at that point if you're doing a price comparisons right now. I'm looking at an insulation duct welder machine right now, and it's like, I can go anywhere from $500 to $3,500. I don't even know what the tariffs look like. I don't want to know at the moment. So, but
If you would like to watch all of the podcast episode, and why wouldn't you? You should go to YouTube. If you'd like to just hear it, you can go to Spotify. And that is the latest episode of Circle of Trades out right now. If you're looking for all natural health solutions in Southwest Iowa, visit Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market. She's been serving the area since 1997, and she's located at 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs with a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, and essential oils, also herbal remedies, and staffed with over 37 years of experience. Bambi's helps you reach your health goals. Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, putting health in your hands. If you're looking to buy or sell your home in Southwest Iowa, turn to Blake Hunter, your trusted realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Blake knows the local market and is dedicated to helping you find the perfect place to call home. So, whether you're a first-time buyer, upgrading, or ready to sell, Blake Hunter is here to guide you every step of the way. His website, blakehunter.homes. And Castle & Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're in Council Bluffs, Trainer, Bellevue, and Elkhorn, which means they're local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team will educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. That's going to wrap up today's show. We are heading full steam into the week, and a lot of great interviews still coming up this week, and I'm looking forward to bringing some of those conversations to you. My name's Todd Studer. We're back here again tomorrow morning.